I am from Harvard. I did my PhD there, and we have an incredible team, Harvard and MIT talent, working to build learning economies. And what I mean by learning economies, I should define that. These are skill-based marketplaces for learning and talent on the blockchain. It's something we've been doing for a number of years. So we are incubated in the Harvard Innovation Lab. We launched in 2014. And we started with this notion of building a platform that would address the skills gap in data science, artificial intelligence. So we have the world's largest platform for data scientists, with 30,000 data scientists on a platform, providing both education and consulting, on-demand consulting, to Fortune 500s. This is the team. Jyoti Piriyasamy, he was the managing director of KPMG. He is now teaching at MIT. Sergio Lerner, a well-known name in the blockchain space. He's one of the early auditors of the Bitcoin blockchain. And he is the founder of Rootstock, which is now RSK. He's our technical advisor, helping us build something very scalable. Peter Diamandis, he is an investor and advisor to Expercoin, where he's the chairman of XPRIZE and also Singularity University. Tarun Khanna, is a professor at Harvard Business School, is an investor. And then I should mention we have an incredible legal team as well. Kaiser Wahab, he is a SEC or securities attorney helping us with the SEC compliance. And then we have someone helping us with the tax issues on the crypto side as well. We've got this incredible customer base, over 100 customers over the last 4 years that have been using our Expercoin marketplace. So what is happening is that we are looking to scale what we're doing in the AI and data science space and provide the plumbing to anyone else that wants to do that for other specializations. So instead of saying, okay, Expercoin is going to go out and now also do robotics or also do smart manufacturing, we want to provide a protocol because we already demonstrated that what we're doing works, but it's very expensive because we are doing it in a centralized way. We charge 50% commission to our experts who are teaching courses on our platform. When they're consulting, we're charging them 20% commission. So we want to morph this marketplace into a platform as a service model where we're providing a protocol infrastructure so other people can build their dApps on top of that. And our marketplace would be just one example of that dApp. So why? We're seeing a massive disruption with AI accelerating into our lives. 50% of the jobs that you see are going to be automated. And in the developing world, it could be 60%. So there is a focus on skills development, and companies need skilled employees. They need infrastructure to support that upskilling. And online platforms are needed to hire specialized talent. So we are solving this very problem through this protocol that we built. This is a study out of McKinsey, where McKinsey interviewed a number of private companies with revenues over $100 million, and they all responded. And the question was, who has the responsibility for this skill upskilling or reskilling? And 58% of people said that it's the companies, not higher ed. Higher ed is 5%. So higher ed is failing us in a major way because people who graduate aren't really equipped with the skills that are necessary outside. So what you're seeing in learning and development is going through a massive evolution, and very quickly, that from e-learning to we've come to digital learning, where it's micro learning. People are learning on their phones. It's no longer focused on an LMS, and that's going to become intelligent learning in 2020, where artificial intelligence is going to help us figure out what we don't know and then recommend courses to take, work to do based on the data that they have, that the system has. So this is really what our platform does today, and we've been very successful. It's a massive market because companies are committed to training their employees. That you're looking at a $362 billion market size worldwide. In the U.S., in North America, it's $98 billion, out of which $63 billion is outsourced to other providers. So even in North America, it's quite large. So what is the solution? The solution is a turnkey infrastructure that has a protocol layer, so other people can build on top of the protocol. We're launching a platform as a service. We call them republics, and each republic has pillars, dApps that we built, and then other people can build their own dApps in an app store context. So other developers can build on top of the protocol and earn commissions based on what subscription is of their apps. So these are the pillars of these republics that we already have, that we are live with customers. The first 5: learning, jobs marketplace, a mentorship marketplace, an assessment platform. Very important, because if you're going to figure out what someone knows or does not know, you have to go through an assessment process. So we have a adaptive assessment platform that they can do, and a corporate academy. So we have, for example, Cigna, which is a major client of ours. They have 350 people taking these courses on our platform. So they need a way to manage those people. And so these are the dApps we already built. We want to introduce a financial aid component later. That's not there. So very easy. We want anyone to come in, use a wizard, and say, okay, these are the available services or the dApps that are available. I'm interested in learning, assessment, jobs. You can quickly create your own white-labeled solution. You could have your own logo on it, and it's something that we provide for non-technical people to launch. This is the technical architecture. Very briefly, there is an Ethereum layer. There's an IPFS, which is the interplanetary file system, that provides distributed computing. So in a way, this also provides censorship resistance. I think many people don't think about this, but blockchain is a wonderful tool for censorship resistance, because if someone were to take out one node, the IPFS allows hundreds of other nodes to exist or coexist, just like BitTorrent. Then you have the Expercoin protocol on top of that, and then you have the dApps and an app store. And then on top of that, we can launch republics, which are these different businesses. So, someone says, oh, I want to launch a republic for financial advisors. They could launch that specialized republic. They could say, I want to offer courses, I want to offer consulting. They can do that. And on top of that, we have a aggregation system to aggregate those. So just a simple example, a student comes in, they deposit the course money and into the smart contract. The 94% goes to the republic, 6% commission comes to us, and then there's a second smart contract for the republic where they can set how to distribute the funds amongst instructors, people helping with sales, people helping with the peer review, whatever the reason may be. So that's all very customizable. It's very important that when you have a decentralized system, that you have to figure out the trust quotient or the trust score for each person. So you can figure out how do you tokenize these interactions. We want to ensure that these interactions are based on what kind of trust each person has. They should be able to stake a number of tokens. So, for example, if I'm new to the system and I'm going to offer a course and it's decentralized, no one's going to disallow me from posting the course on the Republic. So how do I figure out that it's a legitimate course? So we're going to require the instructor to stake a number of tokens that would be in the smart contract until a certain number of people have taken the course. Then we know it's legitimate. Then the smart contract can refund that money, the tokens. Similarly, someone's trying to create an account on the system. They would have to tokenize that account. They'll have to deposit tokens before they can create the account. And all of that is driven by the trust score they have in the network. The scaling is going to be driven by sales and marketing, essentially. And we're looking at an enterprise sales model. We're looking at a referral model. And we're looking at digital marketing that we'll be doing. And I do have a full-blown financial model. If anyone's interested, I can share that with you. It goes over how we're distributing this and what our rationale is that these republics are going to be generating different levels of revenue. So someone may be generating only $100,000 a year, whereas another republic may be generating $10 million a year. So they should be paying a different level of commission based on the revenue they generate. So this is what this bronze, silver, gold, etc. means, that based on the amount of revenue they're generating, we will charge them between 5 and 8% commission. And this goes into our the acquisition cost and lifetime value to the cost of customer acquisition. It's a very robust business because of the there is no centralized expense that we see in the centralized marketplace. So our hard cap is $26.5 million. Out of which we've already raised $3 million. We've been in a private pre-sale for a little over a week. And we are offering a 20% discount to the pre-sale participants. We will raise 95% of our funds in the pre-sale and 5% in the ICO. And 45% of our tokens are allocated toward both pre-sale and the ICO. And that gives us a market cap of, if you inclusive of all the tokens, of $68 million. Timeline, as I mentioned, we started in 2014. We raised some venture money, and then in the January of this year, we spun out Expercoin as a separate entity out of the Cayman Islands, largely because of regulatory reasons. And so Expercoin is going to be doing a network launch at the end of July. We have the products that I can show you demos. The products exist, but what we're doing is now working on the smart contracts, the blockchain component. All of that is being tested. It's on the Rinkeby testnet as we speak. So you can actually go in and do a transaction using ETH. So eventually it's going to transition over to Expercoin. And the first republic will launch in January of 2019, and then quickly we'll scale that. In April, we'll provide the protocol with APIs, so developers can actually get in and start developing the dApps. And in May, we will launch the App Store to list those dApps. We've been well covered in the news. Our team has been in the Wall Street Journal, TechCrunch, Forrester, Gartner. As you know, we are the cool vendor for last year. A very credible team. I launched this sale from the stage of Forbes, Shook Top Advisors Summit, and I'm also the host of this podcast called Masters of Blockchain, which I've interviewed Tim Draper, Jeremy Gardner, Dan Tapscott, Jonathan Toll at NASDAQ. So this is being released very soon. So let me stop here and take your questions.
So we have 6 minutes. Can I ask you mentioned that you had 3 customers.
Mm-hmm.
Could you describe those customers, the size and scale? Because that's a proof of concept, right?
One is a Big 4 customer. We're very excited about that. And and then one is a consulting group in Cambridge. And the third is a nonprofit organization that services the blind. It's called Project Starfish.